All right, so here's your first refactor coding challenge, I guess we could call it. So, what I want you to do, and this is why it's important to have the naming right, because what you want to do is take what I have shown as 016 form validation, and that's the final code we did for so far for the mileage program, and copy it into a new directory called 018 object minimal obs men global refactor. I know it's long. I tried to make it shorter, but I couldn't. And so that will then be where you place this code. Okay. Then attempt the refactor on your own. Now, what do I mean by refactor? What I want you to do is, to the best of your ability, have a minimum number of lines of global code using objects. Okay, now I'm going to show you in a minute my at least outline. Okay, but not my code, because that's what I'll do in the next video, because this really is our way to see how well you've translated these objects. Because remember, right, what do we have in the mileage program? We have arrays, right? We have functions, and we have an event listener. Okay, and so, and I'm going to show you at least the outline of how much of that I got into an object. But really, the other thing about this is you want to be able to minimize, in general, global, not global lines of code, but global variables as much as possible. Okay, so let me just show you first my outline. Okay, and what I mean outline is I've rolled up. Okay, so I created. You can name it whatever you want. I created an object, a literal. There is, as you can see, 53 lines of code in there. So the bulk of that mileage program, 98%, is sitting in that object. Okay. Now I realized I could have actually figured out, I could have done these as well. But then I thought I'm just getting crazy, because these are really, because I like having these references. Anyway, I could have done it, but I decided, okay, I'm not going to get crazy. And then you can see my event listener. Now, I could have played around with putting the event listener in, but I decided not to. So what I did here, and I don't know if you could, honestly, I haven't tried it. But in here, I only have a few lines of code. So if I was to count the number of lines of code on the global namespace, or the amount of global declarations, right? It would really be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 lines. Okay. I should change that now that I'm talking about it. It's good that I talk about it, but I'll, you know, hopefully you get the point. So the point is to see how well, right, you can translate these ideas. This is a little bit of an academic exercise, because it's not really real world, but it is real good to know just in general how to refactor, to use objects in this way, because instead of functions, they're still functions, they're just called methods. But also you need to understand the this, and we've covered those things as well. Okay, so you have everything you need. You've covered it. It's not that you, and reach out if you need help here. Okay. Remember, I talked about already the tutors I've posted in week 7 when they're available. You can reach out and ask for help for sure. Do attempt this on your own. So in this attempt, right, when you get your number, so this is kind of a funny, maybe, refactor 1, the number of lines of code, the global declaration, I should say. Global variable declaration would be a better way to say that, but okay. I think you get the point of this. Now, you can also, if you want, right? And here's the deal, right? Also in your submission, there's a comment line. You can tell me, did you get working code? Because that's one of the first things I'm going to do, is I'm going to pull your code into my system. I'm going to see if it works. So you want to know, right? By telling me it didn't work, right? Then maybe I could give you some suggestions as well. I definitely want to have you attempt this, you know, to see how well you're learning. All right. So that's the idea. Commit that. And then when you're done, right, you can watch my next video and I'll show you how I did mine. All right. Hope this helps. Have fun with it. I did. It's actually kind of fun.